Hello everybody, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. And I'm here, it's 3:19 in the morning, and I'm here with my bulletproof coffee. And the other day I was talking on one of my video chats, and I said, sugar is our gateway drug. And I laughed and I said, well, that's a great topic for a video. So I immediately had to write it down because that's my brain. My brain is Post-its. And, I have a stack of little Post-its because that's my brain. There's no more room up here. Not that there's anything exciting going on up here, but I've just run out of RAM, and I have to put everything on Post-its so I can go on with my day, here or work or in my car, which is, car office. You all know about car offices, right? So anyway, sugar. Yeah. And this is probably a week that you don't want to hear that sugar is a gateway drug to all the other naughty no-nos. Last August, probably July, August, and now it is February, I began to give up sugar. And, or maybe I was giving it up a long time before that, but, I used to have my little, if you look at any of my videos from my past, then the good kind of videos, if you look at them, you'll see that I'm finding all kinds of BBCs, Better Bad Choices, and low sugar items. And there was one, actually it's pretty good. It was a sherbet type thing from the freezer, and it was 100 calories. I think it came in mango and some other red berry type thing. And it was delicious, and it saved me. It was 100 calories. And I think that my goal as I evolved out of sweet was getting away from artificial sweeteners first, because the danger of all of them, those little yellow, pink, and blue packets. And I don't really think I ever did that. Maybe I did Sweet and Low. I remember Saccharin like 40 years ago, and it would be a pill the size of a pupil and the size of a goldfish eye, and I would drop it in with tweezers into my coffee. I remember that, but I think I did the probably brown sugar, honey. I used to put honey in my coffee. Anyway, sugar is a gateway drug for us. And I began to slowly evolve and find better bad choices, because that's how it goes. And so where am I now? I have a bulletproof coffee in the morning, like duh, in case you never noticed. And I put a half a tablespoon of Xyla in that. And that comes from North American Hardwood, xylitol family. And it is healthy, it does not spike blood sugar, and it is not artificial. And so I have that, and I believe there's 14 calories if you do calories in it. And then I have another half a tablespoon in my regular Keurig type coffee noonish during the day. And so, and that's it. I know that there is some sugar in my white chocolate that I put into my bulletproof coffee, and you're saying, white chocolate? Why? I thought dark chocolate was the way to go, especially after seeing Dr. Oz on chocolate. And you're absolutely correct, except the dark chocolate was making my teeth dark chocolate colored. And so I had to kind of give it up, because I love bitter, 75% cocoa chocolate, but it was making my teeth, my old porous teeth, I guess, brown. And So I switched to the white. I do the white chocolate with one little piece of, smaller than my smallest Post-it, of bulletproof chocolate in my fat bomb that I have 3 times a week, tonight being one of those nights. So I started to evolve from the sugar, and now that all I have is the Xyla and then the little bit of sugar and the white chocolate in my fat bomb, and the sugar from my organic berries that I have at noon every day, I do notice the difference, because when I entered Weight Watchers, it was like free fruit, whoa! And so I would have between 5 and 7 a day. And I guess that kept my sugar beast kind of quelled, because I knew I was on a quote-unquote diet, and so there was some giving up. But I was never, I would buy those yogurts. Even Chobani had one with stevia in it, and I thought, first I thought it was the best thing since sliced white bread. No. And then, and don't, look at your labels for breads too. There's sugar in them too. And sugar in them, they're breads. So then when I realized that sugar was lurking everywhere and that the stevia in the Chobani wasn't working, then I was able to switch a few months ago to the Faiyi full-fat plain yogurt. And it is something that you need to get used to. You develop like this taste, and that is part of my fat bomb. And for me now, I guess my palate isn't after the sugar, it's after the richness, maybe the fat content. But something like the Faiyi plain Greek full-fat yogurt is, to me, this divine, rich dairy product that, like a full-fat cheese, kind of does the trick. And it's interesting changing your palate from the sugar. But if you know you're addicted to sugar, and I doubt few of you out there aren't, there's a switch that gets flipped. And as you go through your journey and try to work on things, to give up things or to add things, to make better bad choices, and to eliminate the really dangerous ones for you, remember, it's the behaviors. It's the behaviors that will trip us up and send us back down that rabbit hole that we don't want. And as I got older, the preference in me was to really get rid of the sugar addict and get more into enjoying the full abundance of foods out there that can give me, that can satiate and just make my palate, my belly, my head, it's like this full service thing that a full fat, like nut butter could do. Even the almond, not the almond, the coconut butter from Artisana. When I have that little half a tablespoon, and it's not loaded with table sugar. So I developed, I kind of transferred to like concentrated, delicious nut butters, and then the almond butter. Well, I guess it's not the almond butter, the coconut butter, which is definitely a treat. I mean, you could polish off that jar like a pint of Ben & Jerry's in a snap. But it's what the sugar does to you, and what it does to your insides. And when combined with wheat, sugar turns to fat in your body, and wheat turns to sugar, turns to fat in your body. And all of these metabolic things start happening, and you don't wake up tomorrow after a sugar binge, like, say, from Valentine's Day. Just thought I'd say that. You don't wake up a diabetic. No, it starts many, many years ago, and also I don't know if there's genetics involved, but you'll have this slow layering inside of your body, and then all of a sudden, you're 40 years old, and you weigh way past Wonderland, and you're sitting in front of your doctor, and hopefully they are attuned to you and attuned to reality with labs, and they'll say, you're pre-diabetic. And pre-diabetic, I think that there's there's just this la-ti-da, hi Diane Keaton, feeling about being pre-diabetic. It's kind of like, pre-dawn. It's like, no big deal. I don't have to worry until I have the disease of diabetes. pre-diabetic is pretty darn serious. You are heading down that road. And then there's that metabolic syndrome. I mean, these are things you don't want to hear your doctor say to you. And then hopefully they are listening to the same podcast that we listen to, the same information that we listen to, and you don't leave there with this like 40-year-old USDA idea of what you should eat to conquer that. They give diabetics the oh my God, all of these national organizations that protect the wheat. They give you these diet sheets that contain wheat, and it's kind of like you're still feeding your sugar for diabetes. It's just crazy. So anyway, giving up sugar and treating it like the gateway drug that it is, maybe some of you had that experience. Some of you have had some true confessions here, and my heart goes out to you, especially if you're older. Like, say you're one of, like me. I mean, I'm in my 60s, but people in their 50s, they're learning stuff about their body. It's like, wow, it never used to be like this. I could get through blah, blah, blah. But when you go on a little toot of a binge and it's sugar, you could get in trouble. And don't worry, because you're still getting sugar when you have your salty stuff, because they're loading it up in there too. Because they know that you probably have both a sweet tooth and a salty, crunchy tooth. And so a lot of the junk out there today combines both. I mean, the one thing I can say for the gluten-free organic type of desserts is that even though they're throwing the sugar and things like that in them still because they don't care about you, at least there's less of them. So your palate is getting used to less of the sugar bomb that you used to throw at it. But even the artificial sweeteners, you're getting so used to that sweet taste that we are so used to, like a gazillion times, what a sweet thing is. And so for a lot of us to switch from what we were eating the minute we walked into Weight Watchers and we had to give up all the sugary stuff, even if it was artificially sweetened, we had to really change our palate, because we are so addicted to sugar. This nation is so addicted to sugar that we don't know what food tastes like anymore. Yes, salt is still a villain for some, but we are so used to sweet that we don't even know what a good something something tastes like. And call me guilty too, because I've got my half a tablespoon of Zyla in both of my coffee beverages that I have each day. But I came a long way, baby. Trust me, I was putting tablespoons of junk in my coffee drinks before I met you. Before I met you. And so even the paleo people, they have they don't eat table sugar, but they do have honey. And honey is a food. It's considered a food because there's so many nutrients in it, as opposed to any sugar. Sugar really has nothing that you need. And read the back of a pound of sugar, no matter what it is, whether it's the brown, the organic, all of it. It's really the treat. And in the good old days, I mean really old days, like hundreds of years ago, we would have 3 pounds a year. And now the average American consumes 150 pounds of sugar a year. Well, think about that. Think about what you're feeding your kids when you give them those little Dannon drinkable thingies or the Go-Gurts. The sugar's in that. And when I saw Yo Baby for little ones, look at the sugar content in Yo Babies. They don't care about you. Stonyfield, oh, yeah, so remember when they used to do that thing when you'd send in your labels and they would contribute, like all the savings that they do, and that horrible hormone in dairy products that they'd never let into their yogurt for your baby. But look at the sugar they're adding. It's like, oh, it's scary. Totally scary. So that's it on the sugar is your gateway drug. I just want to wake up the awareness and have you look at those labels and see the gram of sugars. 4 grams of sugar equals a teaspoon. So when you look at that, like my coworker's Fanta citrus drink or something, and it had like 70 grams of sugar in, like, I don't even think it was the 18-ounce dog, which they now consider one serving. It used to be 8 ounces, then it was 12 ounces, and now we're just moving all the way up into the 18, 20 ounces, considered to be one serving, because they know they're giving you your sugar fix. And I've seen some, I don't do franchise coffees because I have mine at home and my bulletproof coffee, but when you go into something like a Double D Dunkin' Donuts, and you ask for like 2 sugars, those are heaping tablespoons they put in. That's probably a quarter of a cup of sugar that you're having in your little coffee. It's not like they're measuring it and leveling it with the straight side of the knife like I learned in home ec 50 years ago. No, they are just, I mean, and we're all co-signing it. So be very, very aware that sugar is our gateway drug. And artificial sugars aren't the way to go either. But if that's what you have to do to get away from sugar, I don't sanction it, but, you know, find something that's not hazardous to your insides year after cup, after tablespoon, after container. Because you need to know that waking up pre-diabetic started a number of years ago. And all you can do now is, you know, take care of yourselves now to make it go away. You don't want to bring it on. Diabetes is going to cripple our country and the world. And it comes from sugar. It's our gateway drug. And for those of you that don't, if anybody's not admitting that at one point or even now you're still addicted to sugar, if you don't think you're addicted to sugar, do what a lot of these sorry people do here. They go on a little sugar toot, and maybe you're coming out of it today, because this is school vacation week right after Valentine's Day. So maybe some of you did, you know, have 6 or 7 Peeps, and you had it dipped in chocolate too, because, you know, that if there's not enough sugar in the Peep, then, you know, have the fake, crazy, not even real sugar. Look at the difference between a milk chocolate label and a dark chocolate label. And I hope you watched the Dr. Oz thing on chocolate, because it was pretty insightful. He could have, should have, might have done a whole hour on it to teach us. But the time they spent on the segment of chocolate was so, so helpful. And, you know, maybe you can find it on YouTube, or, you know, a video again still on the internet. But it's serious stuff, so pay attention. And milk chocolate, the back of those M&Ms and stuff like that, that's nice that they're, you know, the Mars company is getting rid of their artificial flavorings and everything else, but it doesn't touch the sugar that they're still adding. So that's enough. That's enough of Sarah School on Sugar. Have a wonderful day. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Bye-bye for now.